The Alchemy of Rest, 7 Eastern Secrets for the Chronically Exhausted. Hello, I'm the host of the Observation Deck. If you are anything like the old me, your life is a constant battle against a mysterious fog. You follow the rules, you go to bed on time, you avoid caffeine after 3 p.m., you even do that deep breathing thing you saw on TikTok. Yet, you wake up feeling like you've been run over by a truck, reaching for the strongest coffee you can find just to feel human. It is a maddening cycle. I used to think it was just me. I blamed my bad genes or my anxious brain. I studied sleep labs, cognitive science, and behavioral patterns from around the world. I discovered a painful truth. My exhaustion was because I was trying hard enough to rest. It was because I was fighting against my own biology. Across the ocean, in places like Japan, people sleep for the same number of hours, but wake up with a vitality that seems almost superhuman. What is their secret? It isn't magic. It is a philosophy, a set of quiet, ancient rituals that turn a normal night's sleep into a deep, restorative ocean. Meanwhile, most of us are just floating in the shallow end for 8 hours, wondering why we are still thirsty. So today I'm here as a fellow chronically exhausted person who finally found the user manual for his own brain. I've decoded these Eastern secrets and connected them to the hard science. No vague wellness fluff, just actionable protocols. Let's look at this together, shall we? The Sanctuary of Ice. The Cool Head, Warm Feet Protocol, Zukan Jansokunetsu. This is where it all begins. The temperature of your sanctuary. In the West, we love a warm, cozy cocoon. But my research into Eastern sleeping habits revealed a stark contrast. They keep their bedrooms significantly cooler. This isn't just a preference. It is a biological hack. Science tells us that for your brain to descend into the deepest, most healing valleys of sleep, like REM and deep sleep, your body's core temperature must drop. A cool room acts as a powerful catalyst for this process. But here is where the genius comes in. There is an ancient Japanese medical principle called Zukan Jansokunetsu, Tol Han Zura, which literally means cool head, warm feet. I used to just pile on a heavy duvet, trapping heat everywhere. This confuses your body. Your brain, which runs hot like a computer processor all day, needs to dump heat to shut down properly. But your feet need the opposite. When your feet are cold, your blood vessels constrict. This is called vasoconstriction. It traps the warm blood in your body's core, which keeps your brain alert and active, exactly what you dawn to want at midnight. The Eastern solution, by keeping the room cool, but wearing socks or placing a hot water bottle at your feet, you trigger vasodilation. The blood vessels in your feet open up, drawing the hot, anxious blood away from your overthinking brain and down toward your extremities. This redistribution of heat is a natural sedative. It is not just about temperature. It is about directing the traffic of your own biology. My lab note, I tried this myself. I lowered my thermostat by a few degrees and put on a pair of wool socks. The first night was weird. The second night, I fell asleep faster than I had in years. It felt like someone had quietly flipped the off switch in my head. 2. The foundation of stone. Why your spine hates clouds. We are culturally obsessed with sleeping on clouds plush mattresses, soft toppers, pillows that swallow your head. But here is a hard truth. Your spine does not crave softness, it craves alignment. In many parts of the East, the tradition favors a firm foundation, like a dense tatami mat. It sounds brutal, I know. My first thought was, that must feel like sleeping on the floor. But the logic is sound. A soft mattress allows your hips and shoulders to sink, twisting your spine into an unnatural curve. This creates tiny pressure points that cause you to toss and turn all night, pulling you out of deep sleep without you even realizing it. These are called micro-awakenings, and they are the reason you can sleep for 8 hours and still feel exhausted. A firm surface, however, holds your skeleton in a neutral position. It supports your natural curves instead of fighting them. You don't sink, you are held. It might feel stark at first, but the reward is a profound stillness that allows your muscles and ligaments to fully release. 3. The ritual of immersion, the warm bath effect. This is where the Eastern approach gets really clever. The ritual is the evening soak. I used to think a hot bath before bed would make me too warm to sleep. But the paradox is beautiful. Immersing your body in deep heat triggers a steep, compensatory drop in body temperature the moment you get out. This is a scientifically proven phenomenon called the warm bath effect. Your circadian rhythm, your internal 24-hour clock, is directly tied to your core body temperature. We are hottest in the afternoon and coldest around 4 a.m. Your body knows it is time to sleep when your temperature begins to plummet. In the West, we shower in the morning to wake up, but the traditional Japanese afuro bath is taken at night for this specific reason. By artificially raising your temperature in the hot water, you force your body to overcompensate when you step out into the cool air. You are essentially biohacking your own clock. You are manually pushing the fast-forward button on your sleep cycle, tricking your biology into believing it is the dead of night, even if it is only 10 p.m. This sudden cooling sends a powerful chemical message to your brain. The day is done. Shut down all non-essential systems. It is a biological off switch that requires no screens, no pills, and no willpower. 4. The honor of fatigue. Sleep as a eatable act. Kawa no ji. There is a profound cultural difference in how we view tiredness. In the West, being tired is often seen as a weakness, a personal failure to be hidden or medicated with caffeine. We power through. In the East, particularly in Japan, to appear weary can be a silent badge of honor. It is a sign that you have given your all to your work, your family, or your community. Tiredness is not a failure. It is feedback. It is a signal that your body has earned its rest. Honoring that signal allows your nervous system to finally exhale. But there is a deeper layer here, captured in the Japanese phrase kawa no ji, tronnoza, which means the character of the river. It describes a family sleeping side by side, with the parents as the banks and the child safe in the middle, forming the 3 lines of the kanji for river, tron. As a psych student, this fascinated me. In the West, we prioritize radical independence, often putting infants in separate rooms. We train for solitude from day one. But evolutionary biology tells us a different story. The human nervous system is not designed to sleep alone in a dark, silent cave. We are tribal creatures. We feel safest when we can hear the quiet breathing of another nearby. While you may not be sleeping with your family anymore, the principle remains. Sleep is an act of vulnerability. If you struggle with insomnia, ask yourself, does my room feel safe and held, or does it feel isolated and exposed? Sometimes the remedy for a racing mind is not a pill, but a sense of communal safety, the presence of a partner, a pet, or even just a weighted blanket. We were not evolved to feel secure in total isolation. Woo, the art of the pause, the power of the nap of honor. Inamuri. In the West, we are obsessed with getting a perfect, uninterrupted Bajan hour block of sleep. If we fail, we feel guilty and anxious. The Eastern philosophy is more flexible. It is not about the duration of the night, but the rhythm of the day. They embrace the strategic pause. In Japan, there is a cultural phenomenon called inamuri, jumeri, which translates to sleeping while present. You will see people napping on trains, in parks, and even during meetings. In my culture, that would be a fireable offense. But in Japan, inamuri is often seen as a badge of honor. It is a sign that you have worked yourself to the point of exhaustion for the good of the company. This creates a powerful psychological shift, because there is no social stigma, there is no guilt. And without guilt, the body can relax instantly. I used to try to nap, but I had to spend the whole time stressing about the emails I was answering. By adopting the mindset of inamuri, you reframe rest as part of the work, not an escape from it. It is about embromosing your system, not just fixating on one long-term goal. 6. The digital twilights, the empty room. This one is obvious, but the Eastern approach adds a layer of depth. We all know that the blue light from our screens mimics the noon sun, delaying the release of melatonin, the sleep hormone. But let's look at the room itself, through the Japanese aesthetic principle of gan, which refers to negative space, the pure empty interval between things. Compare a typical Western bedroom, often filled with furniture, clothes piles, and visual clutter, to a traditional tatami room, which is empty. The futon is stored away during the day, the space is reset. This is crucial because visual clutter creates cognitive load. When you wake up in a cluttered room, your brain instantly begins processing a to-do list. The pile of laundry screams, wash me. The stack of books screams, read me. Your brain is already at work before your feet hit the floor. By practicing the art of by clearing your surfaces and creating a visual vacuum, you give your eyes, and therefore your mind, a place to rest. When your brain has nothing to process, it is finally free to shut down. 7. The anatomy of indolence. The humble pillow. Sobakawa. Finally, let's talk about the humble pillow. We spend a third of our lives with our neck bent at an unnatural angle, and we wonder why we wake up sore. The traditional Japanese pillow, or sobakawa, is filled with natural shifting buckwheat hulls. Unlike memory foam, which is a petroleum product that traps heat and locks your head into a static mold, buckwheat hulls create a breathable, adaptable matrix. They allow air to circulate, keeping the cool head principle alive all night. They also create a subtle rustling sound as you settle in, a form of natural white noise that grounds you. It is not just a pillow. It is an instrument of structural alignment. Conclusion: your personal ritual. So, what can we take away from this? You don't need to move to Japan. You just need to make a few quiet shifts. Cool the air, but warm your feet. Engage in the ritual of a hot bath. Seek a foundation that supports your spine. Reframe your tiredness as an achievement. Embrace the guilt-free pause. Create a visual and digital twilight in your room. Honor the alignment of your body. These are not revolutionary upheavals. They are quiet, deliberate choices that build a fortress of rest. The result is a sharper mind, a calmer spirit, and a brighter waking. Because true rest is not just about stopping, it is about restoring. Now, the choice is yours. Which of these quiet rituals will you invite into your night?